Hello, dear students. We're going to talk today about that awkward stage when you want to get into lead guitar and you're learning the pentatonic scale to get you started, which is what we all normally do. At least in my case, I know it was. And then you learn it, and then you're in that stage that you don't know what to do with it. Besides playing up and down the scale, which is part of your training. And let me be very clear about that. Right? I've seen these videos on social media of guys saying, "I guarantee you're gonna learn guitar like the pros with just 5 minutes a day." All right, let me just go ahead by starting saying that's not how it works. If it were, then everybody would know how to play, and there wouldn't be any people who failed at learning guitar, which is a huge amount. I'm going to say at least 50% of the people who pick up a guitar never learn to play it, because once they have it on their hand and they realize it's actual work, then they fall out of love like that. Okay, so no, it doesn't work like that. You have to work just to be competent and be like an okay player, to play around at your church or at the bonfire, or just have a garage band with your friends. In general, to play in front of people, you're gonna have to practice for an hour a day for a while, at least a couple of months or up to a year, depending how naturally talented you are. And if you want to be like one of the great guys, like play good solos, like, you know, well, pick your favorite, and I'm guessing it starts around 2 hours to 4 hours a day, depending of the level of skill you want to reach. Like if you want to be one of the great shredders, like Satriani and company, I'm guessing, because I've never been that good. I'm guessing it starts around 3 to 4 hours a day, every day. Okay, so but for us mere mortals, an hour a day is a good starting place to be reasonably competent. All right, that being said, and that does end in the rant, and I gotta rant anymore. All right, what should we do? First, it's a given. We have to play the scale, all the scales we know, and I'm assuming right for now you just know one, the first shape of the pentatonic scale. We have to play it in every fret that we can reach. So, for example, I would divide my scale practice in three. The first round is gonna be alternate picking, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Pick every note. All right, alternate picking, down, up, down, up, down, up. Once I'm done with that one, and you go on every fret. All right, as far as you can reach. I'll say if you're on an electric guitar, at least try to go with your index on 17. Oop, that sounded kind of weird there. And then once I'm done with that, then I go backwards, play it all the way up the first fret, and open position too. Don't forget about that one. At a speed that you can control. All right. If you make one mistake, start over, and if necessary, slow it down a bit until every single iteration is perfect. Once that's done, then I would move on to legato, or in electric guitar slang, hammer-ons and pull-off. But the technical term is legato. So hammer-on the way up. So one pick for every two notes, or one pick per string. All right, And I want to stop here and point out that the pull off is not exactly the opposite of legato, okay? On the opposite of hammer on. All right, and hammer on, as the word suggests, we strike it down like a hammer. We snap into the string, to get a clean sound for the second note. But in pull off, it's a little different, or descending legato, it's a little different. Because if I just remove quickly the finger, the second note is not there, it's not strong enough. All right, that's why it's called a pull off, because you actually have to pull the string downwards in that direction. Okay, it's like you're plucking with the left hand or right hand if you're playing lefty. All right, so upwards, hammer on. And again, do it in every fret. At a speed that you can control, and then once it's perfect, every note is there, then you can speed up a little bit. Once you get a little control over it, then you may start working with the metronome. All right, you don't have to work with the metronome at the very beginning, but once you reach in a certain speed, then you're gonna need the help of the metronome to actually know for sure if you're actually going faster or not, because at a certain speed, then you can no longer tell the difference. Can you tell the difference between 180 and 190? I don't know. I think I can't. All right. And then once I do, and that was the second round, the legato, hammer-ons and pull-off. And then once I do the 2 rounds, I'm ready for round 3, which is gonna be going up 3 notes and back 1. So you play 3 notes of the scale. I'm gonna do on the 3rd fret now. So 1, 2, 3, and then go back 1. And then 3 more. 1, 2, 3, go back 1. 1, 2, 3, go back 1. 1, 2. All right, and you can stop here at the root, because this is the root of the scale. And then go backwards, same thing. And I like to start from this note, which is what we call an extension on the scale, because the scale ends on the root. Okay, anything beyond or below that is extension of the scale. So 3 notes, go back 1. I like to end it. All right, so I can end right there on the root. It gives it that conclusive sound that you feel like you actually end the scale. Okay, and again, do that on every fret and until you can get it faster and faster. Well, I messed it up there, but you get the idea. And this, by the way, this is not just an exercise, like a technical exercise that you're supposed to do in order to become fast, which it does that, it helps, but you can also throw it in there in your solo or in your jam, in your improv. Right now I can think of one example of a solo that does it, but I'm sure there's many examples, and if one of you know another example, you can throw it in the comments. But the one example I always give, it's for the song by Collective Soul, Shine. On the solo for that song, he does like So I did it all the way through the 6 strings and change it up a little bit on the first string. And that is a great solo. I mean, this is just to show you that this is not just a technical exercise, like a boring exercise that you're supposed to be doing mindlessly over and over. This is something that you can actually throw it in there in your solo, in your improvisation. And it is very eye catchy, but it also sounds cool. So, anyway, dedicate some time to it. It really pays off. It really helps you get more acquainted with your scales. So anyway, I think I'm gonna stop it here because this has been gone on long enough. I hope you found it interesting and I hope you get something out of this. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to help my channel. And even though this is a 10-minute video, it should account for at least 20-minute practice. Okay, so you doing those 3 rounds that I show you, the alternate picking and then legato and then the little up 3 and then back 1 exercise. You should spend at least 20 to 30 minutes working on your scales before you move on to whatever it is that you were going to practice that day. If you're working on a new song that you're trying to figure out, or if you're going to work on your chords or whatever it is that you're working on, you should dedicate at least 20 to 30 minutes to work on your scales, whatever scale it is that you're working on, before moving on to the next. That's the only way that you're gonna get the dexterity that you need to make those eye-catchy and really soulful solos that we all know and love. It doesn't matter how many times in social media you hear the new guitar guru saying that it's gonna make you play like Satriani with 5 minutes a day. Don't waste your money. It's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna say don't waste your time because it's only 5 minutes a day. So don't waste your energy. Don't get your hopes up because you're not gonna be the next Slash with 5 minutes a day. All right, guys. I'll see you at the jam night.